Right, I was going to do this yesterday. Council tax. I've been in and out. I had a cold just before Christmas, and I've not really been 100% since then. And I was a bit ill yesterday. I'm still. You can probably hear a bit in my voice. So we'd had all this fiasco about. They'd written to me before Christmas and said that I'd been claiming single person discount, and if I didn't fill in this form that they'd sent me, it was fraud. How is it fraud not filling in a form? I'll get onto that in a bit. So remember, this is all to do with last year. So this bill finishes. They start charging again in April. So I then sent a letter back saying, no, in April I registered that my flatmate had moved in because that's why he moved in then, so we could keep everything nice and tidy. And I sent that back to you, so if you can't figure that out, I suggest you get someone else to read that form to you. So I then got a letter from the council on my return saying they were sorting things out. Okay then. Reassessing, I think, was the word they used, I'm not sure. So after all that, they've now sent me a revised council tax bill. Not for this year coming. We're still they've spent all this time and money sorting this out. I still owe them £25 apparently. I mean, bloody hell. They've spent all that. They've spent probably £100 sorting out that I owe them £25. And they've gone to all the trouble of informing me that the first instalment is due on the 15th of January, and that will be 1 times £25. It's £25 and 82. I wouldn't want to get done for false statements or something, which I'm sure Cambridge Police would leap to in an instant, even though it was a civil offence. So actually, I had paid them. Well, this is where it gets even more confusing because they're saying the whole bill was £1,257 and I think 12 pence, which I knew it was about that. And they're saying I've paid them £1,145 so far over the past year. But that doesn't. 1,257 minus 1,145 isn't £25. So, I'm struggling, guys. I really am. I mean, if someone from HDC is watching this, perhaps and I'm sure you will be. Perhaps you could enlighten me as to why you're such a bunch of morons. Really, there's not much more I can say about that. But anyway, of this, I mean, let's move forward. I'm not sending them any money on the 15th. Do you know what? They start charging again in April, so technically the year finishes in March. Council tax year, so I'll pay them in March. I mean, it's a 12-month period. I don't care if you want 10 monthly instalments, right? There's nothing legal about that. At the end of the day, I could wait until March if I wanted and pay you £1,257, really, to be honest. Because let's face it, you're a bunch of Nazi bully boys who can't wait to take people to court and flex your muscles and go, "Hey, we the council, we're in charge." Well, no, you're not fucking in charge. You're public servants. So I won't have any more of that going on. Right, out of this 1,200 whatever it is, Cambridgeshire County Council get almost £900. £872, and yet they can't resurface any potholes. I mean, what the hell? I mean, that's surely them taking money is actually fraud because they don't do anything. except paint double yellow lines and put signposts up. HDC take £103.58. Well, they've taken a lot more than that because they've been stealing money for the last 30 years with an illegal trading licence. St Ives Town Council takes almost 90 quid. I don't understand. Right, because we've got the county council and we've got the district council, right? I know that the town councillors and parish councillors, don't get paid. I know they don't take money, but we're employing people in St Ives Town Council and whatever they get paid a year. I mean, can the district council not sort these things out? You know, we've got 9 towns in our district. We're just paying more and more and more layers of bureaucracy to do all the same jobs, really. Cambridge Fire, which is ironically the most useful service and probably the only one that ever does any work, only takes £49.98 from each person. Okay, I'll happily pay that. Cambridgeshire Police, who are all bent, as we know, take £141.05. Well, perhaps that paid for my malicious prosecution that they were carrying out when they know fine well that the council are breaking the law. I don't know. Right, this is what, and I did put a post on Facebook yesterday. Now, you always get a form every year. Apparently we now get 2, but you always get a form every year to clarify the occupancy of your residence, i.e. be it single, discount, or numerous people, and then they want the names of the people and their dates of birth and so on and so forth. As well as if there's kids in the house, even though anything over 1 person single occupancy, that just you lose your single, so the discount, so the price is the same. So that for a start, I don't think you should have to put any more than 2 names on that form to start with, because what's it got to do with them? How many kids are living in the house? They're just spying, really, aren't they? They just want to know every little thing about us, whilst we know nothing about them, you know. But the thing is, I rather fancy, because what council tax was passed in law in the House of Commons, so that's fine, right? But the thing is, when you contract a service, it's kind of a thing that a job is done so that you pay for that service. You know, it's the same as buying something from a shop, really. There's a price on a thing, isn't there? And in a lot of cases, especially with things the jobs the council do, like going round mowing the grass areas, emptying the bins, that's the kind of, if you paid someone privately to do that, that's the kind of thing you'd want an invoice, a job description, what they've done, when they've done it, how long it took them, etc. and so forth. And that would be called a contract, really. If we're going to, you know, let's be loose about it, that's kind of a contract. And I rather fancy that this form that the council sends you, because of course it's got all these warnings, it's fraud if you don't fill this in. If you put incorrect details on this form, it's fraud. And I think that's just threats and bluster. And I think actually by filling in that form and signing it and sending it back, because there's going to be a trick here somewhere, I rather fancy you're giving the council permission to take money off you, which is how then, if you don't pay, they can then take you to court. So that's just a theory. I mean, as you can see, they don't know what they're talking about from this bill, because I have no idea, you know, how they've come to this £25.82, why they've probably spent in excess of £100 calculating it's come to £25.82, but the figures just don't match up from what I'm seeing in front of me. So as usual, HDC, not only are you corrupt, not only are you also utterly useless, you're obviously financially inept. from judging by this. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video down at Pathfinder House. I really do. Personally, I think you should be arrested for extortion. But as we know, the Chief Constable's bent as well. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy this one. I shall see you all later.